Okay, welcome back to In a Nutshell. We have back with us DNA, like Dan and Ash. You want to introduce yourself a quick one? Just in case got people.
Hello, my name is Danny, and I am working as a.
Not this side because she has too many side hustles.
I am working and studying at the same time currently.
Yeah, hello, I'm Ashley. I'm also working and studying and also traveling.
Yay, busy people. Thanks for coming back. All right. Okay, today we're gonna look into more stereotypes of Gen Z, and this one is the one that everyone probably has heard of it before. And I think if you are in the workplace, you will hear it quite often. That Gen Z is a strawberry generation. They bruise easily. They cannot take it. Not resilient and always going on mental health, mental health, mental health. Is it true that Gen Z are really so fragile? Or it's just that they are the most emotionally aware generation? Okay, let's do a quick game, okay? Just to warm everybody up. Okay, so the game is called Soft or Numb. So I'm gonna read a scenario and then you're gonna pick a card in front of you. Do you have the card?
Yes.
Oh, cool. Yes, yes. Soft or numb. Yeah, so you choose, okay? So first one, is it soft? Soft means like oversensitive, okay? Or is it like a normal? It's like a normal human usual reaction that everyone should respect. Statement one, feeling very stressed because someone raised their voice. 1, 2, 3. No, feeling stressed. So do you feel stressed? Should I lower my volume? Hey, but you're also quite loud. So it is true.
But then it depends on context. Like, we're not yelling at anybody per se.
I see. Yeah. So yelling is a no-no, but raising voice is okay.
Yeah, I think it's sometimes you do need to raise your voice to get your. If it's a loud room, you have to raise your voice. If not, you're not gonna be heard.
But I feel like sometimes if someone suddenly raises their voices and like if it's something about a very strong emotion, then I feel like it's very normal to feel like you're affected.
The second one, I'll add it in myself. Someone responds with a short or blunt message, like they text you with a full stop, or they text you without an emoji. Soft or non? 1, 2, 3. The one that's very indecisive. Why do you take a while to decide? You're like,
I feel like because for me I don't really use a lot of emojis, but then I realized that a lot of times when I want to bring something across that like I feel affected or like I feel like oh you're going too much, then I'll always like have the full stop, have my caps on because we have
Caps
auto
off. I have
yeah,
caps
we
off.
yeah, so we have to have the caps on, we have to have the full stop, have to be like oh I think your comment is too far off.
You just switch over to like you gotta code switch over to like being professional and like lock in.
Yeah, you have to sound like ChatGPT.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then you have to put like the thumbs up emoji.
Oh, the praise emoji.
Note it with thanks. Full stop. Thumb up emoji. Thank you.
disclaimer, it's their own personal opinion, not opinions from Econ class. Okay, please. Okay, next one, is it soft or not? You need a day off for your mental health. No. So were you going to ask, just a quick on you, will you tell your boss that you need a day off for your mental health?
Yes.
I would not say it like that. Yeah, I would just say I'm sick.
For me, I just straight up tell them I am not doing fine. Like I am really stressed out right now. I am burnt out. Like I need a day off. I am taking the day off. And you can't technically stop me because again, as a freelancer, what are they going to do? Right? So I just tell them like I can't do this right now. It's too much on my plate.
Okay, the next one. Oh, given last minute work and very short deadlines, and you feel very stressed and anxious and upset and frustrated about it. Soft or no? 1, 2, 3. Oh.
I feel like it's not justifiable to always have like short deadlines Like even though people say like, oh, once you overcome this, you can overcome anything, but that happens to everything.
Yeah.
Like they say that over and over again. So I doubt that is something that should be normalized.
Just because it's normalized doesn't make it okay.
Correct. Yeah, and it's normal to feel affected about this kind of thing. Like you're not the only one.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Because like adding on that, it's like your life doesn't revolve around this singular project.
Yeah.
Because you have so many other things going around, and you have plans that probably have been made way in advance. And so if this thing like adds onto it, you know, sometimes people just have too much on their plate. Like you can't handle it. That's just a matter of fact, right? Unless you are a all work, no social life, like you sleep in the office kind of person. I think it's totally okay to feel stressed about getting a last minute project.
The last one is being affected by negative comments or like feedback on like work related things. Soft or non? 1, 2, 3. Ooh, finally I got different. I'm so happy. Yes. Why soft? Why non?
I feel that I focus more about the feedback part because I realized that it's quite common for me to feel affected about constructive feedback, even though it's constructive feedback. And I realized that it's like a flaws of myself. Like a lot of times when I get constructive feedback, I feel that it's against my personal values or against my personal work ethic. That sometimes I feel like a bit teary because of the constructive feedback. But then after I go back and think about the feedback, then I'm like, actually it makes sense. Like why am I so affected about it? So I feel like it takes time to get over that, and it's probably better if I could really take it as like separate from myself. Like work is work, myself is myself. I'm not defined by my work. Yeah. So I think that's very important, and yeah, I feel that maybe being affected by constructive feedback is being soft. Yeah, but otherwise, if people are like affecting you because of like your own appearances or things that you cannot control, then it's very normal for you to feel affected. Yeah.
Can I change my answer to like soft? Because
Hey.
I feel like whatever Ashlyn said, I resonate 100% with it. I always like, for me, I tend to take it as a personal attack. But I think it's also because of how like growing up, you know, we see feedback as something negative. Like if we're not good at something the first try, it means that, oh, you're terrible at it, you're not good at it, right? And I feel like that's a mindset that a lot of Gen Zs, or like personally me at least, I've grown up with. So if I get feedback, my first thought is go, oh no, I'm horrible at this, right? Like, oh no, they don't like me anymore. Now they're gonna replace me with someone else or someone who can do something better. But I think the thing that made me pick normal was the fact they said negative feedback. Because when you think of negative, you think of very like brutal, harsh feedback to you rather more than like constructive feedback. Right? I think constructive feedback is actually very important. It's uncomfortable to hear, but I think there's a reason why it's uncomfortable, because there is something about you that needs to change. That's why it's called, you know, constructive feedback. So I'm changing my, I would say depend, but also changing it to soft.
I guess the way that's being brought across
Yeah.
is also necessary. And I think naturally I think it's not a Gen Z thing. I think it's a human thing. Yeah, it's just a human thing. We don't naturally take comments or feedback very we don't embrace it that much. And we take some time to digest and internalize and find out what's going on, and if there are certain things that I need to change or I need to stand up for it. Actually, I don't do this way. So things like that do happen. So these are, we call them the uncomfortable truths. Okay. But just want to check. Do you think it's okay to be soft? Like to be like yeah. Do you think it's okay to be soft? You don't have an okay. Yeah. You can do a thumbs up. You can do a thumbs up.
True. True.
Like that. Yeah. Do you think it's okay? Is it okay to feel soft at a workplace? And what?
I think the word soft isn't the right word per se. I think it's okay to need a break or to, thoughts, words. Ashlyn?
I feel like it's instead of trying to put like depends.
Yeah.
Because I feel that it's okay to feel soft in front of this one. It's okay to feel soft to people that I like in front of my loved ones. I feel because it's a place that I feel comfortable about talking about my own emotions, about the things that I've experienced and stuff like that. And I will not get judged or I will not get like negative views about myself from talking about my feedbacks. But then I feel that it's not okay to feel soft in like a workplace if we're talking about workplace wise because I guess I'm someone that is I kind of fake it till I make it or like someone that's like I just try to push it through to the end like whatever sad feelings that I'm feeling, whatever negative feelings that I'm feeling, I will just bring it home and settle myself. Yeah, and I do not want to bring that negative vibes into the company as well. Yeah, but of course it's very important to communicate like your feelings also. So I feel that will always come after the project for me. Like it's a bit hard for me to communicate about or being soft about a project, be it like school wise project or about work project while we're on it, especially meeting a very tight deadline. Yeah. I guess it depends on situations as well. And but talking about not wanting to communicate about me being soft in my workplace or school wise, but then actually, I quite like it if other people communicate with me about them being soft. Because how do I explain this? It's like I would like them, I would appreciate that they talk to me about what is affecting them. But I guess for me myself, it takes a lot of courage for me to talk about it in a workplace, and I'm also learning how to talk it out. Yeah. But yeah,
Like you just have to lock in. Like when it comes to work, that like die have to finish. It's like yes, you're dealing with this, but like everyone else at the workplace probably has their own problems that they're dealing with at the same time. But I think it is healthy to be able to like connect with your colleagues and be like, yeah, I'm dealing with this right now. I'm feeling this, but at the same time, I'm doing my very best to like lock in. So if I seem out of it, it's because of all these different things. It's not that I'm not trying my best or I'm not putting in the effort. It's because I'm really dealing with this right now. But I am doing my best to lock in and help you to finish this project along the way as well. So yeah.
Maybe I would like to add a point that I feel that it's very important that let's say you're the group leader or like you're the boss of the company, it's important for you to do check-ins with people like through a project. Like let's say when I'm a group leader, I'll always ask people like after each segment of the project, I'll ask them like, are you feeling okay? And I will not do it in the group chat, but it's like I will go and DM them and ask them, oh, are you feeling okay about this? How is the workload going and stuff like that? Because again, mental health is very important for us, and I don't think it's been solved.
Yeah.
It's definitely normal.
It's just being more aware of how you are feeling this instead of just like pushing it all down and being like, nah, it's okay, just shove it down so I don't feel anything.
No, as actually I say, I always feel actually it's not very Gen Z. Because a lot of my HR friends, right, the complaint is not that they don't say it, it's they say too much. It's like they say a little bit too much, then it goes a bit off tangent instead of like, oh, I'm not coping with work. Can you all provide me with more resources or give me more time? This kind. But they go on and on.
It's not constructive.
It's not work related.
Yeah.
It's not so much as not constructive. It's not more work related. It's say about their own relationships and say about their family. And then my friends like, okay.
So
Okay. So that's why I was like, actually I said, yeah, actually really not very Gen Z. Actually very millennial. I'm not sure you are that. Yeah, that I think that is the culture among the Gen Z, that you're more vocal, you're more willing to speak up, and you're more aware of this whole issue about managing your mental health. I think that's very important, and how to go about doing it, and this whole awareness thing. Because in Singapore, generally we grow up with the idea that being tough, you have to be silent, you cannot complain, you must endure, you must tahan, you cannot cry, you cannot make noise, you cannot frown, and also yeah. So all these things, all this expressing of emotion, setting of like work boundaries, people see it as being soft or being fragile or like you're not resilient, you're not resilient enough. So the question would be like, why do you think the other generation so quickly label Gen Z as being too soft or too sensitive? Is there something that they misunderstood about us?
I feel like it's just how different we are that they don't understand the difference. Like I feel that for the older like generations that are older than us, they would see difference as being weak or not being normal. Like to them, the norms are to hide your emotions, get things done, pass over people kind of thing. But for us, it's a lot more diverse. Like we do have people like me, myself, and people like Danny. Like we are like a mix of different people that prioritize different things. That maybe the older generations have a more narrow mindset. That's why they thought of us as like being very abnormal, not being normal, and like why are you acting it like that? Like just endure. That's how we do it, and that's how you should do it too. I feel like that's the common misunderstanding that I feel that people should start to get to know that people are different. Like generations are changing, and to also accept the fact that um we are different and we can bring in more possibilities and opportunities to the table that I feel that the older generations maybe at this point are still not really seeing. Of course, there's a lot of like good bosses out there that they are giving more opportunities to like Gen Z also. But sadly to say I still see cases like I hear stories from my friends and I see cases of Gen Z being not really treated the best way as we will see as then like one of my friends she told me that her boss is like treating her as if she had like 20 years of experiences, even though she's 20 years old. You know those kind of memes that is like,
What do you mean you're 20? You don't have 21 years of
yeah,
experience.
those kind of memes. Then I was like, then how are you communicating with your boss? Like how are you like managing your workload and stuff? Then she just said like, oh, sadly, I I couldn't really find a way to better communicate my worries and communicate our differences because my boss is quite doesn't really how to say quite set in stone.
Right,
Like
yeah.
doesn't
Very
really
fixed in
allow
the ways.
changes. Yeah, correct. Like let's say I see opportunities in like helping this event to push further through like social media wise. Then my boss will be like, oh, but we've always been doing it through like word of mouth. Then why do I need to do it social media? Like the cost, why we don't do it the cost, and a lot of things like that. I guess they do have their own like pros and cons. Like the boss, they really focus more on like the money wise and also things that they cannot they don't want to try to work towards and maybe they think that it's too much effort, they don't want to change, they just want to do the same. But maybe for Gen Z ourselves, we really see a lot of opportunities in trying to find ways to like make things better that sometimes it just isn't recognized and it's very sad lor.
Yeah.
So I feel that for older generations, maybe it just like give us more chance and give us a chance to try.
Yeah.
Like maybe let us write a proposal or something, and you can see it yourself. Like if you want it to happen, but it's just very sad if you don't even allow us to write the proposal.
Yeah. I think the main thing that came up to mind was how like for us we grew up around technology versus older people who they didn't have like phones, they didn't have a computer, and so the only way that they could connect with people was either through real life interactions or through writing like letters and mailing it to people. And so maybe that's why they have this distance because they're not able to communicate or really share how they're feeling back then because there's so much that you're going to share with a person on a piece of paper, right? But I feel like with technology these days, people are able to connect, like our generation, like Gen Zs, we're able to connect with not only people in Singapore, but like all around the world. And so we are, from a young age, we're exposed to different cultures, different views, different perspectives. And so we feel more connected in a sense. And because we feel more connected, we open up more and we feel that we're able to talk more freely about these kind of topics. And I feel like the older generation, they don't understand like, oh, how is this generation so open, like how are they talking about these things, and to them it's like this is weird, this isn't normal, because back then talking about your feelings or really talking about anything that's different or outside the norm was very taboo for them and very frowned upon. But then, so when we came in, when our generation comes in, and it's like we're very open about talking about these topics to them, you're not able to understand it from their perspective, which makes sense, right? Because if you're used to doing something for like 40, 50 years, and then something comes into place, something different, it is a difficult change for them. So I do understand why they might call us sensitive or call us soft or say that we complain about every single detail. But I think, in my opinion, it's just that we're more vocal, we feel more connected as a generation, and that we are able to see things from different perspectives. Because the way that a Singaporean might see something versus the way that an American might see something is completely different. And then from there, you're just sharing lots of experiences and how we deal with different things.
Okay, that's all for today's episode. Please remember to follow us on econ_plus.
And we will
also
see you
in
next
the next
episode.
episode. Bye bye.